If you're thinking about becoming a full-time day trader, day trading currently, or even a few years into day trading, this is the video that I wish I saw when I was in that position. Because this isn't going to be the fake trading version, what you see on Instagram, what you see on TikTok, the watches, the Lambos, the cash everywhere. It's the real story on how to actually become profitable and how I actually made it in trading myself. So what actually happens, the mistakes that I made, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are making as well, the amount of prop firms I blew, and just the constant frustration that I couldn't make trading work. And most importantly, what changed everything. So I'm sure a lot of you are at the beginner stage at the moment. You've been looking into day trading for maybe a few months or even under a year. I would still say you're a beginner. And I remember that time so perfectly, because that was the time where I lost so much money. Because I can imagine a lot of you've opened accounts or you've started trading with prop firms, and when you started trading, it was going well for a bit. You watched a couple of videos about strategy, you watched a couple of videos maybe about your psychology, and then you just started trading and it went well. That usually happens with day trading. And then all of a sudden, it starts to drop off. You start to lose more, you start to get more frustrated. The deeper you get into it, the more your emotions start to play up. And you're really beating yourself down because social media made it where trading looks super, super easy. You've got people saying that they make 10K a day, 5K a day, 100K a day. And you're like, well, if that person can do it, then I can do it straight away. All I need to do is maybe watch a couple of their videos. And then you start to realize that that isn't trading. That isn't how I can generate income from day trading. Because I was the exact same. I watched countless videos and nothing was improving. And I was spending money after money after money and blowing it and blowing it and blowing it. And it just carried on. And again, like a lot of you now, I believed that strategy was the only answer. I was watching countless videos, completely different strategies, day trading, swing trading, scalping, to see what would work for myself. And even though that feels like a bit of a waste of time that I was doing that also made the mistakes that I needed to make to actually improve. So if you guys are in this situation, it's easy for me to say, stop it, pick one strategy, focus on your psychology, and rinse and repeat. But you need to make the mistakes before you learn. That's how a lot of people learn. They learn through pain. But there is a time when that pain is ongoing for too long, that something needs to switch up. Because I was the exact same. This kind of beginner kind of area that I was in, it lasted for a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. And I was just constantly losing money. I was day trading, I was trying to trade crypto, I was trying to trade meme coins, because I couldn't really understand the difference between each one. And if a lot of you guys are confused at the moment, it's completely fine. It does take a lot of time to fully grasp the idea of day trading, how it works, different routes you can go down, and how you can generate money from it. And this brings me on to kind of after your first year, and this is like the destruction phase. This is where you lose the most money because, and I could imagine, again, a lot of you are in this situation now where you've put so much money into day trading, so much time into trading, that you don't want to give up now. You don't want to give up now. You want to make your money back. You want to break even at least until you kind of give up with it. And that's when the real big rule benders come in. That's when you start revenge trading. That's when you start over trading. That's when you get FOMO, because you're starting to grasp trading a little bit more and you just keep making these huge mistakes. But you feel like you need to risk loads, or you need to take so many trades a day. You need to take bad setups just so you can get that money back as quickly as possible. But the issue is, while you're in this phase, you're digging yourself a deeper and deeper and deeper hole. For myself, I was over $25,000 in overall losses after a year and a half of getting into day trading. I believe that's quite high, but you know, some of you might be at 10K, some of you might be even more than myself. And once you actually realize how much you've spent, that's when your mind starts to really push you in the wrong direction. It makes you want to gamble in a way. And I remember this so much because this is when I wanted to only trade news. I full ported accounts on stupid trades. I lost so much money, and a lot of the time the money wasn't even mine. It was money that I borrowed. It was money from my girlfriend at the time. I was on a commission only role. So I was living in Dubai at this time. When I got into day trading at like 18, it was the same time I moved to Dubai to sell real estate. If any of you know about real estate out here, it is commission only. You don't get a salary. And I was, maybe going 2 months without earning in real estate, getting a decent paycheck and then spending it all on day trading. So I had the stress of trying to create income from real estate, which was commission only, and trying to create some sort of income from day trading, which again, you can lose money as well. So it was just a really bad cycle that I got myself into. And at this point, I was purely trading live accounts. So, I was putting $1,000 in, I was blowing it within a week, sometimes a day. And it was just a really bad cycle. And that's when I found prop firms. So I started trading with FTMO and a smaller one called CTI, which was based in the UAE. And I could not pass a prop firm. I could pass the first challenge, but then I couldn't pass the verification stage. I could pass the verification stage, but as soon as I got onto the live account, I blew it. I couldn't get a payout. I couldn't get a payout at all. And it took me probably 7 to 8 months of trading prop firms until I passed and I got my first payout. And again, I thought it was a little bit better because you aren't directly losing your own money when you blow prop firm accounts. It doesn't feel like it's your money sometimes when you're trying to pass these challenges. And a lot of people mistake that. A lot of people feel like that 100K account is their capital, and they get more kind of worried about losing it. But I believe it's the opposite. I believe that once you've paid for the prop firm account, that money kind of goes out of your head, and it doesn't feel like it's there anymore. So it can add up super, super quickly when you're in that stage of blowing prop firm after prop firm after prop firm. And I get that, and I can imagine a lot of you guys are in that situation now. And you feel so stuck because you're so deep into trading that you just can't understand where it's going wrong. How comes these people that I'm watching on YouTube, that I'm, following on Instagram, are making so much money consistently, and I'm just consistently losing? Like, why is that? And that's probably where you maybe bite the bullet. I never did, but I can imagine a lot of you will bite the bullet and buy a course. But when it comes to buying courses, I know some people who have, and it's made them profitable. I know others, and it didn't. I honestly believe that everything you need to become profitable is on YouTube already. The details are out there. And I feel like if you're wanting to get help from a mentor, it's better to do like a one-on-one kind of coaching with a trader instead of buying a course, because a course is generic. But when it's one-on-one, you can, they can pick up on what you're doing and help you improve directly, and they can customize it to yourself. So if you are in that stage, as I said, I never brought anything or got a coaching call or anything like that. I still managed to become profitable. But if you are in that situation, try and go for like a one-to-one, or if you don't want to spend the money, it's on YouTube for free. And when I mean that, I don't mean strategies. Because there comes a point where you need to realize that a strategy is a strategy. You need to trust it. You need to have confidence in it. You need to see it play out time and time again. But while you're at this point, you just need to trust the strategy and focus on your risk, your discipline, and your mindset. Because these three things are the most important things to turning from unprofitable to profitable. Of course, the strategy is the thing that holds it all together. That's of course, the most important part you need to learn and you need to know. But once you know that, to actually turn that strategy into to turn it from a sort of group of steps to actually turning it into making and generating you consistent income, this is where you need to focus on the risk, on the mindset, on the psychology. But while you're at this stage, you're so deep in losses, and I was as well, that you're trying to look for shortcuts. You're trying to look for a quick way to get your money back, to become profitable, to turn your life around. And there are no shortcuts. There's nothing. I promise you. I've tried to look for every single one, and they're not there. They're not there because they don't exist. Because trading takes time. A lot of people feel like it will take them 6 months. It will take them a year. It might take them a year and a half. I promise you, it takes so much longer. It takes 3 to 4 years to see consistent income. Yes, you can have big days at the start. Yes, you can have a big day every now and then. Yes, you can go on a winning streak for a couple of weeks. But you want to consistently be able to withdraw income, because the whole reason you got into day trading in the first place, the same reason why I got into day trading, is that you wanted it to take over your income from your job. So then you can live a free life. For example, now, like, I'm at my apartment, it's Monday, it's currently 3 p.m. I haven't done any work before that. I've just been chilling, going to the gym, gone for a coffee, and this evening I will trade, but then after like 8 p.m. Dubai time, I'll probably go out again. And I can take holidays when I want. I'm my own boss. And that's why you want to get into day trading. A lot of people say, oh, it's just for a side hustle to add a little bit more income. But once you see what it can really do, that side hustle income, you don't want that. You want it to be your full-time kind of job, which is completely fine. But for it to get to that situation, the situation that you want, it takes time. And it honestly annoys me as well when I see people in the comment sections just replying to comments on my videos where they say after 6 months or 3 months they were profitable. Okay, great. But are you profitable over a year? Are you profitable over 2 years? You don't know, because you haven't been trading that long. And I can guarantee you 99% of those people who say that will not be profitable if they look at their total P&L after a year. And that's not to bring anyone down. That's just the harsh truth of trading, is it takes years. The reason it takes years is because you need to make the mistakes. And that's why I'm putting this video out, because you're gonna have to make the mistakes. I can tell you every single mistake that you're going to make and the rough time that you'll make that mistake on your journey. But the issue is, you will still make that mistake anyway. And that's fine. I made them. I made a lot of mistakes. But the difference between myself, who is now profitable, and someone else who's been trading the same amount of time and isn't, is I was self-aware and I managed to learn from the mistakes. A lot of people can't. A lot of people treat trading like it's a casino. And you can treat it that way if you really, really, really want to. You can. But is that really why you first got into this? Just to gamble your money? Or did you get into this to try and change something in your life? Because I can imagine it's the second option for a lot of you. And then after a few years, for me, it was like 2.5, going on to 3 years, where I broke even with all my losses and I started to consistently withdraw payouts from prop firms, mainly FTMO at that time. And I started withdrawing weekly from my live account as well, while still trying to build it. And that was my turning point. It took 2.5, almost 3 years. I've been trading for 5 years now. That's how long it took me. For some of you guys, it might take you, a lot less time. It might take you 1.5, but it might take longer. It might take 5, 10 years. Some people I know, they've been trading for 7, 8 years and they're still struggling a lot, which is completely fine, because I feel like, especially with trading, it's so influential. There's so many people on social media, they come and go, but they always say their good days, how quick they did something, renting supercars or or watches or stuff like that, which you then think, why aren't I at that level? But it takes time. Good things take time. If you wanted it quickly, where's the fun in that? I know it's frustrating at the moment, and like growing to become a profitable trader is so stressful. The pressure is insane. The emotions are constant, but it's a journey. Why do you want it quick? Why do you want to speed run it? Like when honestly, when you have the money to be able to do whatever you want, you'll always look back on the journey it took you to get to that point. But I could also tell you, the moment you kind of break even from all your losses and start withdrawing consistently, it's not a click of the fingers, and there's no real turning point that you can remember. It's slow. You know, you're trading for a few months maybe consistently, and then you realize, oh shit, I've broke even now. Like this is becoming good, but there's no like click of the fingers moment about what's happened. It takes time. Where I'm at today, I've been profitable for almost over 2 years now. I live in Dubai full time, and day trading is my only income. And I can guarantee you that I'm always learning new things. I'm always still trying to improve. Something didn't just change and I can now just press a button and always be right. That does not exist. I'm always looking to improve. I'm always looking to change. And it's boring. So it would have been around 9 months ago, 10 months ago, that I quit my full-time job. So I was working my full-time job whilst still being profitable in day trading for a bit, because I was scared to completely rely on trading income, because I knew the pressure would increase a lot. And when you start doing day trading full-time, especially when you have responsibilities, like I have to pay for an apartment, I need to pay for a car, I had a car on finance, I need to pay for that. The bills are expensive. Dubai is quite expensive just as it is. I need to make sure that I can pay this. Plus I got into credit card debt because of day trading. So I need to be able to it's paid off now, but I needed to be able to pay that off as well. So I needed to make sure I was making enough. And the moment you go from day trading whilst you had a job or living at your parents, or, you know, where you've got a bit of a safety net, to then doing it full time and having responsibilities, the pressure change is insane. And you have to relearn trading. So you learn it once to become profitable, and then you have to learn it again when you do it full time, because the mindset shift is insane. Every loss feels so much heavier. When you're in profit, you want to close it early just to secure the funds. You're not trading your system. And it took me like 3-4 weeks to fully get out of that once I quit my job. And the only reason I was able to do that was because I focused solely on my psychology for the last year, 2 years of whilst I was still working trading. If I didn't do that, I don't think I would be here right now speaking to you as a profitable trader. And that's what I want to get into, is trading it isn't what you see online. It looks great, and those things do happen. You can get the nice cars, you can get the nice watches, you can travel all over the world. You can do that. I do. But the majority of the time, trading is boring, it's lonely. I'm sat here in my apartment, fully focused on the charts. And it's not exciting anymore, because my risk is super strict. I'm not gambling trades. I'm waiting for the same kind of setups every single day. It's roughly the same risk to reward every day. I know my win rate. I know all my statistics. So it's not exciting. It's not kind of like on your phone, like, oh my God, this is how much I made, like whilst I'm sat on a yacht. It's not like that. I promise you. But if you really want day trading to work, which if you've got to the end of the video, I'm sure you do, my biggest tip is know your strategy, of course. Once you know that, focus on your psychology, focus on your risk management. Risk management is easy. You just need to kind of do a mathematical kind of working out of how long it would take you on a losing streak to blow your account, and also what you're happy with losing without it affecting your psychology. Because if you take a loss and it affects you negatively, but badly, you're risking too much. Half it, quarter it, until you can build confidence again. And then your psychology, it's the reason why people don't become profitable solely. They overtrade, they revenge trade, they take so many trades a day. They take trades just out of FOMO. They've got fear of missing out on moves. And you're never gonna fix your psychology. It's a fact. You're never gonna fix it. It's never gonna be 100%. But you can improve it. The way you can improve it is by becoming self-aware, is by building discipline in your life. If you know that you can follow rules in life, if you know your mind very well, then you can know when these emotions are gonna come in and you can step away from the charts. Because a day not trading is as good as a day where you took a winning trade. And for a lot of you, that might confuse you. But trading isn't about how much you can make, it's about protecting the capital that you have. Because if you don't protect that, what have you got to trade with? Nothing. So you need to focus on that. So my final message is, if you're frustrated, if it's not going your way, if you're questioning that you can do this, understand that every profitable trader, including myself, has been through the exact situations that you're experiencing right now. So you now know that the struggle is going to be there regardless, but it's how you overcome that. It's how you are, if you're going to improve every single day. Are you going to do that? Are you trying to get 1% better? Are you going to journal every day? Are you going to stick to your rules? Or are you going to destroy your accounts, your mindset, and everything else just for a bit of dopamine really quickly? That choice is up to you. The choice to become profitable, being profitable is a choice. It's up to you if you want to be profitable or not. And you already know the right things to do. But if you are really struggling, and I mean really struggling, then I do offer one-on-one coaching calls to fix or help build your psychology. So if you're interested in having a one-on-one call, send me a DM on Instagram or TikTok and click the link in the description and you can book a call through the website. And thank you very much for watching. I know this was a slightly different video to usual, it was more raw, but let me know what you thought about it. And if you did like it, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe.